everybody. As Krista said, my name's Lauren. And today we will be exploring how we all can raise awareness of prosthetics and orthotics profession. So what that means, why it matters, and what each of us can do to really help shape the future of this field. As we all probably know, prosthetics and orthotics have a major impact on people's lives, but the profession itself often remains under-recognised. Often people see the devices, but not the science, engineering, and the care behind them. So the aim of today is to unpack all of that, to show why awareness matters, how all of us and organisations like BAPO can really make an impact, and then some practical steps that we can all take to raise awareness. So what are the session aims? So why is raising awareness essential? The role of BAPO and what all of us play in influencing how the profession is perceived, and how to increase visibility and recognition by using practical and realistic strategies. And as we go through that part, I'll share examples that you can adapt in your own settings. And I would really encourage you all to either use the chat or note down questions as we go, and then we'll have time for discussion at the end. So before we look at the benefits that awareness brings, it's worth talking about why raising awareness is such a crucial part of shaping the future of prosthetics and orthotics. So at its core, awareness is about visibility and understanding. So we want to make sure that people, from service users to policymakers, know exactly what we do, why it matters, and the impact that it has. Right now, the profession faces challenges around workforce shortages, limited public understanding, and varying recognition within the wider MDT team. When we raise awareness, we can strengthen our position in each of those areas. So that can support recruitment, for example, because more people see prosthetics and orthotics as a rewarding career. It also supports recognition, ensuring our work is visible and valued across the MDT teams. And also it supports investment. So decision makers are more likely to fund and develop services they clearly understand. Awareness also builds on that professional pride that we have. So when the value of our work is actually seen and acknowledged, it reinforces our morale and ultimately retention within the workforce. So in short, awareness not only just builds understanding, it strengthens our credibility and also secures the future of the profession. And as we move into the next slide, we'll look more closely at the specific benefits that greater awareness brings to service users, professionals, and the whole healthcare system as a whole. So just talked about why raising awareness is important, how ultimately it underpins recruitment, recognition, and sustainability. Now let's look at what really happens when we actually achieve that awareness. So the real world benefits that follow. So raising awareness creates a positive ripple effect across every part of our profession. For service users, it means better understanding and access. When people know who we actually are and what we do, they reach services earlier, which improves outcomes, their, for example, comfort and their independence. For the profession, it leads to recognition. So it really strengthens our voice, showcases our expertise, and demonstrates the value of what we contribute to, rehab and long-term care. For the workforce, visibility helps attract new entrants, retain experienced staff, and build pride in professional identity. It also supports more diverse recruitment, which enriches the profession as a whole. For healthcare partners and policymakers, this awareness highlights our role in innovation and evidence-based practice. It opens doors to collaboration, strategic partnerships, and sustainable service development. So raising awareness doesn't just tell people what we do, it actually creates measurable benefits for service users, professionals, and the whole system around us. And then leading on into that, this is why organisations like BAPO play such a vital role in ensuring our work is recognised, supported, and understood. So, what is actually the value of prosthetics and orthotics? So, it combines engineering, innovation, creativity, and clinical expertise to enhance mobility, function, independence for people across a wide range of conditions. But not only that, but it plays a key role in research, innovation, and education. We're continually advancing materials, our design approaches, and our practice in general. It is a forever dynamic and evolving field um, that can achieve really good outcomes for the patients that we see. There are also so many different career pathways within the profession. So not only do we have clinical practice, but we also have research, and then we've got leaders that go into service development. This whole diversity across the prosthetics and orthotics profession means it is an excitable and adaptable career choice with opportunities to contribute and grow in can't say that word, a range of directions. By communicating this clearly, the value that we have to not only our colleagues, but to educators such as schools or universities and policymakers, we help ensure that P&O we're recognised and that we're understood and that we're valued for the impact that we make. So I touched on it a little bit earlier, but BAPO plays a central role in promoting and representing the profession. Ultimately, it brings together the clinicians, the technicians, support staff, students, and apprentices all under one professional identity. So being a member of BAPO means your voice contributes to shaping the profession. It ensures that every part of P&O, the community that we are, is represented and supported. BAPO advocates for recognition, resources, and workforce development, and it works with policymakers, educators, and healthcare leaders to ensure our expertise is understood and valued. It also drives public engagement, so through campaigns, events, and online resources that really highlight the difference that P&O makes in people's lives. So, really, awareness isn't just built in isolation, it requires collaboration between BAPO, between us, between employers, and educators. So, how can we actually raise awareness? I've come up with three main strategies that we can use. So we've got outreach and education, we have storytelling and media, professional branding, collaboration, campaigns and events, and career engagement, sorry. So going on to outreach, education, and media, I've combined them together. So engaging young people early is one of the most effective ways to attract um, the future generation. So activities like school visits, career fairs, and university sessions really give us a chance to show the range within prosthetics and orthotics. So we can really show that blend of engineering with healthcare and creativity that makes the profession so unique. We can make our impact real through case studies or patient stories. So they don't have to be the most dramatic story ever, but simple, relatable examples often connect best with students and the public. And BAPO do provide resources such as career guides or outreach materials and frameworks that help make these conversations easier to deliver and consistent across the nation. And we should not underestimate the power of social media. So, platforms like LinkedIn and Instagram are where many students and early career professionals learn about potential careers. So, by sharing these authentic stories or little snippets that we have from our careers, showcasing the technology and highlighting the achievements on social media, we can really reach audience that we would never meet in person. Social media also allows us to shape the public narrative, so to really show that, as I've mentioned before, the science, the skill, and the compassion behind P&O as a career. And having this consistent, positive online engagement will really help to inspire the next generation and really strengthen the recognition of the profession as a whole. So I do really think we need to take social media kind of and run with it. I do think that's where part of our outreach is really going. And that leads me on to BAPO are currently running 3 social media competitions that spotlight different aspects of P&O. So we have a day in the life of a P&O technician or support worker, a student or apprentice, and a prosthetist orthotist. Thing is that these initiatives not only promote the profession, but it will highlight its innovation, the teamwork, and the positive outcomes that we actually see during a day. So I would really encourage you all to promote these competitions as it really will help increase our visibility and also help like almost humanize the work that we do. So it's a way to show everything that we do, but also the people behind it. And also there's a £200 gift voucher, so that's always a plus. And now moving on to professional branding. So branding isn't just for companies, it's for professions too. And for us in P&O, that means we have a clear identity. We want to make sure that we're using consistent visuals and we have a unified voice that helps people understand who we are and what we stand for. We want to be recognised as an evidence-based, person-focused and clinically skilled professionals. BAPO do support this through its professional standards, their ethical frameworks, their guidelines, and their resources that are just great as they help align our voice and our practice across the UK, but also it can reach beyond, allowing us to present ourselves as confident, that we are competent and that we're really working with the times as we go. And even though it is all about showing through consistent messaging, visuals, and language, but it's also about the pride that we have for our career and for our profession. So, for example, when we engage in research or we contribute to leadership conversations or we share our work publicly, we strengthen our reputation. And then by maintaining that kind of high standards, we can then showcase how good of a profession that we are. We build our credibility, we encourage collaboration, and really we enhance our influence. So speaking with that one clear, confident voice, really amplifies the impact that P&O have across healthcare really and beyond. So moving on, kind of touched on it already, but collaboration is another great way to raise awareness of P&O. So by working, for example, within the MDT, we help other clinicians understand how our expertise really complements theirs in, for example, rehab situations, to help really get the best outcome for the patient. We also have partnerships with charities or patient organisations and groups, and the educational, like universities, also strengthen our visibility. They really connect us with new audiences. We can support research and showcase the real world outcomes of our work. So, taking part in policy discussions, and professional forums really ensures that our voices are heard when decisions are made about rehab. And this also, again, builds our credibility and trust when we're seen as active contributors across healthcare and healthcare settings. The profile of our profession rises. Another method would be campaigns and events. So they give people a chance to see prosthetics and orthotics in action, not just read about them online. So this could include national or local campaigns. We could do school workshops or even interactive demonstrations at healthcare events, where they show all like AHBs. A great example of this would actually be P&O Day, Prosthetics and Orthotics Day, which is a national opportunity to highlight our profession and celebrate the achievements that we have. Also, by collaborating with charities and universities, again, we reach a wider audience and highlight what we can do. It's really important during these times to showcase patient outcomes, show what projects that we're working on, how we are working to be more innovative in our practice, and really showing service improvements as that demonstrates the impact and value that we have. Equally important, doing these events allows us to celebrate our own achievements and share our pride, which really reinforces our identity, and makes sure that we're proud of what we're doing and achieving every day. So then moving on, they all kind of have the same ring to it, career engagement. So again, as I mentioned before, early engagement through school talks. We also have work experience. Mentorship really helps the younger generation understand the real scope and impact of P&O. For example, to support this, BAPO have just introduced a new work experience guide, which provides practical guidance for services, universities, and any employer who wants to offer placements or any sort of experience in P&O. BAPO also provide clear career pathways, which makes the progression visible. So, for example, from training through to advanced practice or academic roles. BAPO has their early career guidance framework, which supports this to help newly qualified clinicians transition confidently into practice through structured stages of development. So, by promoting this range that the career offers, we were really showing that the profession offers kind of a lifelong development plan. It also has flexibility and opportunity. You could start off clinic and then go into research and then go back to leadership. Like there's so many options that the career has, and we should really recognize and celebrate that. So ultimately by investing in this awareness to show that there is career development at every level, we ensure that the profession continues to grow, adapt, and also be seen. So, career outreach team. We are really trying to do some incredible work promoting the prosthetics and orthotics profession as a dynamic profession. Our aim is to work with schools, universities, and employers to create clear pathways for future clinicians and support workers, technicians. Our aim is to really share the stories and examples that highlight the profession's impact and our dedication really to patient care. We are currently exploring ways to make outreach even more effective. We want to try steer away from the booklets that you get on careers days that people then just throw away and put in the bin. Instead, what we're trying to do is, go more with the times, see how we can really engage them and make it more interactive. So also we'll be probably saving the environment and get rid of lots of paper waste, which is always a plus. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do at the moment, is just really see how we can make career outreach engaging and I would like to say fun as possible. Okay, so sorry, how can you get involved? So everyone can contribute to raising awareness. As an individual, but also collectively. So, for example, simple actions have a real impact. You can offer a school or community talk about the profession. You can share your story or insights on social media. You can provide placements or shadowing opportunities for students, or you can partner with the career outreach team on local or national campaigns, which I would really encourage everyone to try do. These activities create visibility, they encourage interest, and they build confidence in what we do. So each contribution, no matter how small, really helps strengthen the recognition of P&O, around the UK, but also beyond.